Hey guys, wanted to hop on real quick and just do a really quick video on this hurricane that's coming through. I'm in here and I got the cat in here too. I'm getting on my nerves here. Hurricane Florence. It's wreaking havoc on the Carolinas, Georgia, possibly up into Virginia as well. And we are in upstate South Carolina. I'm about 250 miles from the coast. And we are scheduled to get hit later today. The eye of when it's headed directly towards us. I'm on like the east side of the main part of it, which is going to go through like downtown Greenville, South Carolina, and I'm on the east side here in Spartanburg. So they are forecasting, sorry I have a cat in the middle of the thing. So later today we're forecast to have possibly 5 to 8 inches of rain, even up to 50 mile per hour wind gusts later through tonight into in the morning. Right now it's just kind of, it's windy, it's breezy. We do have some wind gusts. I think we're up to maybe 30 miles per hour wind gusts right now. The rain is starting to come in a little bit, but it's nothing major. It's more like a to me like just a normal summer rainstorm. I got a fly that came in when I came in the door. So I've been out a couple of times. So I've not seen any limbs down or anything like that. I did pass one earlier. It looks like it might fall at any time, but you know, for right now, and it is kind of cloudy, but all that is supposed to get they predict it's going to get really worse towards the end of the day and then through tonight. So they've already told us that if, you know, once all the big bands of rain start coming in and the wind to kind of not be out, and by then I won't have to be. I'll have everybody picked up from work and I'll be home. I really am hoping that it doesn't do what they say it's going to do. But in the meantime, if it does, we are as prepared as we can be. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about right now, is preparedness. And by no means am I an expert in hurricane preparedness or anything like that. I am new to homesteading, I'm new to prepping, I'm new to all this. But this isn't the first time I've been through a hurricane that we've gotten some wind and rain from. This is probably the worst one that they're talking about. You know, it's really already wreaked havoc on North Carolina. They've got, I think, almost 600,000 people without power already. They've reported like 7 deaths already. One just happened to have been a mom and her baby when a tree fell on their house. Here in South Carolina, we've had 1 death in my area. Elderly lady hit a tree last night with her car that had fell across the road. And last I checked a while ago, we have like 64,000 people without power so far. Luckily, our power is still on. Like I said, it's not really been bad here. Even with the wind, it's like, to me, it's like a summer storm wind. It's not really been that bad yet. But, so let's get started. One of the biggest things I would say, if you can, is to have a generator. A generator would be awesome. It'll power your refrigerator. It will power, you know, an air conditioner if you need it, especially if you have health problems and you can't deal with the heat and humidity, especially like we have here. I have asthma, and the humidity does get to me, but we have window units, so if the power does go out, I'll raise windows if the rain goes away. And we also have battery powered fans. I have a big one too that I have bought for camping a few years ago, and I use it. I just picked this one up to have more of a personal one. These things actually run off of like D-size batteries, so they're really good. They actually do put out some cool air. I love them. I will tell you, we don't have a generator. Like I said, we're new to this. We haven't picked one up yet. We are going to be getting one over the next few months because we've got our Tennessee property and I'm going to have one up there to help with some stuff up there while we're getting set up. So, but right now we don't have one, so we do what we do without it. You know, it'll help with your refrigerator. One thing about it, if you don't have one, if you have your freezer, you can put ice bags in your freezer. You can fill up 2-liter drink bottles and put in there to freeze up. And that'll help keep some of the consistency and the coolness in your freezer, because if your power goes out, your freezer will keep your food cold for up to 48 hours. Refrigerator is only about 3 to 4 hours. We do have a couple of coolers. We can put ice in to move stuff into, like our milk, my milk, and then stuff like that I want to keep a little bit longer. I can move it into a cooler. Because here they say, you know, if we got power does go out, it might be a couple of days. It could be 2 weeks around here. Who knows? And I'm really hoping that we don't have that problem. But, you know, so we've got coolers and ice. And that's kind of important. Especially if you have medicine, you might have to keep in the refrigerator. Especially for, like, you know, diabetics with insulin. You know, different stuff, then, you know, a cooler with ice would come in really handy. The other thing is food. You need non-perishable food items. And it's nice if you can and you have a pantry stock. I'm new to canning. My pantry is not greatly stocked. My garden didn't do like I wanted it to this year because I just really had a lot going on. Didn't really get to get out there. And I'm kind of working on purchasing stuff to do some canning now while it's kind of cooler a little bit, getting ready to cool off a little bit. But we don't have one. But I have what I call a prepper pantry. It's not just home canned goods. I have store-bought canned goods. You know, lard, peanut butter. I'll show you. We have noodles, rice, dry beans. This is stuff that you can have in an emergency. You can, you know, cook outside of your electric stove. We have cans of soup. And I have some soup that I've canned in there too. And the cat wants in the video. And I do have like Vienna sausage and corned beef hash for sandwiches and potted meat, stuff like that, that you don't have to cook. We have oodles and noodles soup, or what I call it oodles and noodles. It's ramen noodles. I do have peanut butter. I did go out and get a bunch of bread. It's in my freezer right now, just in case we need it. It ain't like I won't use it if we don't. But, and you know, and outside of food, you know, you can live without food a little bit longer than you can without water. Water is the most important. You've got to have water to survive. So you need to make sure you have plenty of water. And we do that several ways. I did go buy some store-bought water. I have the little bottles here that I picked up. I'm going to start putting those in the refrigerator and freezer here shortly. Get them cold just in case the power does go out. And I also did pick up a couple gallon jugs of water just to have in case I need it. But what I do is I take 2-liter, here's one I got to wash and fill up, but I take these 2-liter bottles and I wash them and I fill them up with water. You rotate them out every year. Some people say 6 months. I do mine every year. But that is water that we can use for flushing the toilets. You can use it if you need to do some laundry. You can do laundry with it. You can use it to wash your dishes and stuff like that. And then I've got the other water that I can use for cooking and drinking. I also can water. We actually had a discussion about this on Facebook in a homesteading group I'm in last night, because some lady was talking about canning water and asking a question about it and about the flavor, and some guy was like really criticizing about why would you can water. Well, I've got water canned in my pantry and I'm glad I do, because that means I don't have to go out and buy as much. And also, even if I wasn't waiting on a hurricane to come, I could easily, that sterile water that I have, if I need to clean a wound, I've got sterile water already here in my pantry. I don't have to take time to come boil it. I already have it. So I have some of that in my pantry as well. So we've got plenty of water. And also, here probably a little bit later before this evening, before everything gets really, really bad, we will fill up both of our bathtubs with water. And that is water we can also use for flushing our toilet and stuff like that. And also the little 2-liter bottles, you can also use this for bathing. You know, the power goes out, it'll be like it's a pan bath, but still you've got water for bathing. And those are some of the important things. But, you know, along with that comes, if your power goes out, what you going to cook on? If you don't have an alternate way to cook, then of course, you know, you need plenty of peanut butter and bread, and then like Viennas and stuff like that, you can just open out of a can. I mean, you could probably even open a can of soup and just eat out of the can. Might not be the best, but it's food. We have two options that we have right now for cooking. We have a grill that we can cook some stuff on the grill. I can put meat on the grill that I have a little bit in the freezer. I can put a pot on there, whatever. And we also have a 2-burner propane stove. So we definitely are able to cook if we need to, if the power goes off. If you have a fire pit, you know, you can always cook on an open fire as well. And with that being said, in that, if you have any of those items or even lanterns that use this, you need to stock up on your propane. That is a great commodity you need to stock up on. We are currently stocking up on that because we're going to be using a lot of this at Tennessee property. But I have propane for my propane stove as well. Other thing is, like lighting. You know, if lights go out, you got to be able to see. I didn't bring them over, but I do have a couple oil lanterns as well. They're oil lanterns. I've got to wash them and clean them up, but, and I love them and I'm wanting to get more. The only thing is I can't put kerosene in them because I'm allergic to the kerosene fumes. I think when I was growing up, my mom and dad used kerosene all the time for heat, and I kept a lot of sinus infections. And as I've gotten older, it got really, really bad where it's not just a sinus infection. I end up in like really extreme pain up through here. So I'm really allergic to the kerosene fumes, so I can't do kerosene. But one thing you can do, there's alternates you can do, which we have some. It's clear lamp oil. You can put lamp oil in there. This is fairly cheap at Academy Sports. There is also a thing you can buy in a gallon jug. I think it's like $10 a gallon. Lowe's and Home Depot has it. It's called Clean Heat, K-L-E-A-N, Clean Heat. And it is kind of like the kerosene, but it's clear. It doesn't have the fumes. You can put that in your kerosene lamps. You could even use it like in the wintertime if you have to use kerosene, or if power goes out in the winter and you've got to use that to heat, you can use that in place of kerosene and not have all the fumes. And Lowe's and Home Depot carry that, so that's some alternates. We also, of course, candles. I have little candles. I have big candles, and I do have a couple of candle holders that we can use for light. And another thing, and then I have little lanterns like this to carry around, and I've got some bigger ones. And one thing I found like the last couple of days at Academy is a wireless light bar. I went the other night. We had to go pick up some more propane, and I saw these lights, and I picked up one, and I was like, oh, I'll put that in my kitchen. It'll be good for my kitchen. And it comes with this little round strip. You peel the back off, and it sticks to the wall wherever you want to put your light. And you let it set for 24 hours, and the light has a little magnet on the back. I'll show you. That just sticks to it. And I got one for the kitchen, and after I put it up, I was like, man, I like this. And there's so much light in my kitchen. I don't need a candle in my kitchen when I have that light on. And they run off of like 3 AAA batteries. And we always have a stockpile of batteries. So I like this. I went back last night and got a couple more, and I put them like in the bathrooms, and my son wanted one for his room, but little areas where we might need extra light. And I mean, these are pretty cool. I mean, that is bright light. And then that is like a dim light. So it's pretty cool. I like it. And these are like $4.99, and I think I'm going to go back and get some more. I may stockpile them for the Tennessee property because of the magnetic strips I'm using here I won't be able to use again. So I'm going to go back and get some more of these and stockpile them for our Tennessee property. And we're talking about putting one in my car as well. But, you know, with all that, and then, of course, you know, we have the big flashlights if we need to go outside or anything like that. And then usually when stuff happens, and And I didn't bring the other one over here. I thought I did. I thought I brought the other one. Hold that thought. Sorry, guys. And then we also have these little flashlights that I keep for everyone to use as well. And I keep these. This is my favorite little flashlight. I have a couple of these. I even keep one of these in my car. Those are really, really bright, and I love these. I got these at dollar stores, as a matter of fact, but I love them. And then, you know, if you do have, of course, if things happen and, you know, you got your candles, you got to have a way to light them. We usually have little cigarette lighters because my husband smokes, but we also, I keep these, the big lighters for lighting candles, stuff like that, because I burn candles regularly around here anyway because I like the scent. So I keep those, and we also keep matches. Now these matches are a little bit different. These are the Titan Stormproof matches, and they have longer burning, they're windproof, and they're waterproof. And I like that. And I got these at Academy, and I've got another pack of regular matches too, so we've got all that running around. And of course, with a lot of this stuff, you know, you got to keep a stockpile of batteries, which we do. We have C's, we have D's, we have AAA and AA batteries in case we need them. Another thing is, and I don't have one at the moment, it's on my order list. I do have a regular radio though, and that is a weather radio. And they make them, I think they're like, some of them are like $49. They crank or they're solar powered, and you can even charge your cell phone with them. And it's good to have because if your power goes out, you don't have TV, you at least have radio to keep up with what's going on with the weather and, you know, and anything important you might need to know, especially if your cell phone dies. I do have a regular, but we have a battery powered radio in the house we can use, just kind of keep up we need to, but we will be getting a regular radio soon. Also, you got to think about your pets. We have a bunch of cats, so I've got extra cat food. Make sure, you know, they've got plenty of food because, you know, if the power goes out, you may not be able to get to the store. Also, you know, if they're outside, you know, make sure that they have somewhere to go to get out of the rain, out of the water. You know, chickens, we have chickens. I didn't shut them up because I think they have a greater chance of surviving if they're not shut up in the middle of a rainstorm. But, you know, so make sure your animals are taken care of. We have two baby kittens that are just starting to eat cat food. We brought them in the house with the rest of my cats. We brought them in to make sure they don't drown and keep them safe. And medicine. If you're on medicine, you know, you need to make sure, you know, you have all your medicine that you need to make it through a long power outage. I know a lot of insurance companies, they won't let you usually sometimes a week, up to a week before your prescription's due to be refilled, you can refill it some places. But if you call the pharmacy and explain to them that, you know, you got a hurricane coming, you need to make sure you have enough to get you through that. They can work with your insurance company sometimes and go ahead and get those filled for you. And I'm not going to have this on video, but, you know, also, you know, depending on where you're at and how long you're going to be without power and everything, you know, you need a way to protect your home, whether it be a gun or a knife, whatever, because, you know, if things get really, really bad, you're going to have looters. You know, you got people that may not have anything, may not be able, and they're hungry, and they may be trying to come to your, you know, property and try to take your stuff. So you have to have a way to protect your home, your family, and your supplies. So make sure you have a way to protect yourself and your family. If something, you know, if things were to get that bad, these cats, and you needed to, you know, protect your family, that is the best thing to do. And one thing, you know, also, and I don't, you know, I'm not going to get our religions, is, you know, we pray. And I prayed a lot during this storm coming in, and I continue to pray that, you know, my property's protected and that this thing weakens even more than it's already weakened down to. And everything. And, you know, and if you've got your vehicles, make sure you park them, don't park them under a tree. You know, park them in an open area where you don't have to worry about a tree falling on your vehicle. If you have trees around your house, you know, during the really, really bad times, sorry, cat, you might want to sleep on another other side of the house where there is no trees. You know, you need to keep a really, really close watch on your surroundings and what's going on. And as for cell phones, if you have a cell phone, I would recommend keeping it fully charged, which is what we're doing today. I'm trying to keep mine on the charger. My husband's is on the charger once I get through with this video. And my son's got one here. We're all trying to keep our cell phones fully charged. And, I mean, I can go out to my car and charge my cell phone. I can turn, you know, if I need to. But make sure your phone is charged. And also, make sure you have a full tank of gas. You know, if power goes out, you know, you may not be able to get gas at the gas pump. You know, those pumps run off electricity. Plus, you know, in certain areas, you know, especially for us, not where I'm at, but closer to the coast, you have people that, you know, places that are already out of gas. So, you know, there might be a shortage of fuel, you know, if flooding and power goes out. So make sure you have a full tank of gas in case you have to go somewhere, in case we do have to go charge your phone. You know, make sure your gas tank is full. And we've done that. I did that yesterday, and I topped it off earlier. And also, you know, it doesn't hurt to have an emergency bag packed, and I call it an emergency bag. But you can take a bag, you take a backpack, put 2 or 3 days worth of clothing in it, a blanket, some extra toiletries, emergency necessities like your flashlight, a little knife, you know, just different things that you may need. Water, like if you're going out and you have to go out, absolutely have to go out, you can have water in it. You can have like protein bars in it in case something happens and you get stranded somewhere. You have necessities to get you through until you can be rescued. Or if something was to happen to your home and you have to evacuate or you have to leave in a hurry, you've got your bag, you've got some stuff with you. You can put your medicine in it. If you take medicine, all kinds of stuff like that. Important documents. You know, that's another thing. You know, you need to have all your important documents, your driver's license, your social security card, your insurance cards, your car information, your house information. All that needs to be all together, so if something were to happen, you can grab it and go. And you don't have to worry about searching for it and worrying about it's going to get destroyed or lost. You know. And I guess last but not least, and I know there's probably more that I did not cover, but one thing is cash. Try to have as much cash as as much of your money as you possibly can in cash. Now, if you know insurance premiums for your house or your car, you need to go ahead and pay those before the storm hits. So in case there's an issue, you don't want to be dealing with lapse of coverage and all that stuff. But you need to have cash on hand, because if the power does go out and it's out for a few weeks, you're not going to be able to get money from the ATM machine. And if you are able to get out and go to a gas station, you're not going to be able to use your ATM card, your debit card. You're going to, you know, most of it, you're going to have to pay cash. And, you know, and I don't know about you, but I'm one of these people, I don't want my money tied up in the bank either. So if everything goes out, I want my money on me. So definitely make sure that you have cash on hand. And I already did that. I made sure I've gotten money out and we've got our cash, and, you know, to make sure in case we need it, we got it. And that's a good thing. You know, it's good to keep your stuff on you. That way, if you need it, you've got it. And you don't have to be stressing if you can't get money out of the bank and stuff like that. And that is pretty much it. Like I said, I'm about as ready for this little hurricane to come through here as I possibly can be. You know, like I said, we're not on the coast, we're inland, but unfortunately, Florence has been one of these tricky hurricanes. It changes its mind too much, and its track has changed a lot over the last few days, and it varies, and they really don't know. I think right now there's 3 different tracks of my area it can come through. One of them means I don't get a lot. One of them means I get a lot. A lot more. One, you know, which is the 5 to 8 inches. One means I might get a moderate amount, and then one I might not get much of anything, and it might be 1 to 2 inches, depending on how it comes through. But right now they're kind of sticking with it's going to go through directly to our area. Don't pull my shirt down, Cass. Say hey, Cass. This is my little kitty cat, Cass. He just loves to cuddle, and if he's sitting down, he wants to cuddle. He just wanted to get in front of the camera, I guess. But anyway, so, you know, the biggest thing is just to be prepared. You know, keep up with the road conditions, keep up with the weather and everything, and that's what we've been doing. I don't follow a lot of social media sites. I stick with my local forecaster, and that's the one I've been looking at the whole time. You know, and if you're out and about, don't drop the water. You know, don't drive across power lines if they're down, stuff like that. Rain is starting to pick up. I've got my front door open a little bit, and rain is definitely starting to pick up here. But I think the worst of it is supposed to come this evening. So they're talking about tonight, during the night tonight, into the early morning in the morning. So might be a little bit of a sleepless night here tonight. But anyway, that's it for this video. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button, and hit the subscribe button. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.